I'm Mo, and you're like hee-hoo!
And I'm TJ, and I'm dreaming of a good movie.
And this is...
It's still new to us, damn it!
Welcome to It's Still New to Us, damn it. I'm Mo, he's TJ, she just said, and we're here to watch every movie ever made so we can finally be invited to parties.
That's right.
Yes.
Where we can show off our mad yodeling skills.
Yeah.
And Bing
That's
Crosby
the future.
impressions.
Yep.
Yeah, yodeling, history repeats itself, right? So why shouldn't yodeling
Yeah, it can come back. I think
Was
can.
it ever big in the U.S.?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think, polka dance parties or stuff like that. I don't know.
But again, it wasn't an American-born tradition.
No,
right?
It's Polish, I believe.
Yeah.
I think. I have no idea.
This movie would have me to believe it's Austrian, but I have no idea either.
Exactly.
Was it ever really popular?
No.
Yeah.
Not really. But we can make it popular, TJ.
It's like Mambo Number 5.
Yeah.
It was popular, but not really liked, maybe.
I did. Yeah, when I was in high school, for some reason I did a little article, like a little blurb on the school newspaper about Mambo Number 5. And it goes like, Jessica, Kate. It was like the worst article ever, and my English teacher made fun of me for it.
One of my favorite episodes of Nathan For You is all about him and a cab driver trying to take down Uber by making a sleeper cell of bad drivers that are registered with Uber. And one of the things that so he compiles a list of people's most hated Uber driver behaviors and has all his drivers do them, like smoking, smelling bad, and one of them is bad music, so he makes a bunch of mixtapes that are just Mambo Number 5 over and over and over. It's brilliant.
That is amazing.
It is great.
Yeah.
So, how about some banter?
Banter time.
Banter
time. Banter time. Banter time. Banter time. Banter time. Banter time. Banter time.
Dolph Ziggler got fired.
Yeah, he did.
End of an era.
They're all gone. Everybody's gone.
They never used him right, man.
No.
Hopefully he can go to AEW and do something.
Yeah, maybe. His brother's there, so.
Dude, Dolph's great.
Yeah.
Dolph has always been great.
He's good. He's going great. I'm going to Seattle to see the pay-per-view, Wrestle Dream, so that's going to be exciting.
What if you saw Dolph Ziggler's AEW?
Yep. If that's happening, that'll be awesome.
Yeah.
And maybe I can finally sell the tickets I bought, because I bought too much.
Oh, no.
On accident.
If it wasn't in Seattle, I'd join you.
Yeah.
Great city, though. I love my time.
Cannot wait. I want to see the gum wall so badly.
Do it. You will.
Ooh.
And go there. Sadly, I was on a work trip, so it wasn't open while I was at the work all the damn meetings. But they have that fish market that's right by.
Yeah, We're gonna go at 10. I don't know.
By the time me and my coworker got there at 6, they were just spraying all the leftover guts and shit off the gear. But no, you're gonna love that city. It's a cool ass city.
Yeah, I'm excited.
You like seafood, right?
Yeah, I love seafood.
You will love yourself.
Yeah.
Or love your experience there.
Definitely. And we're 4 minutes away from a Dick's Drive-In. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So where are you staying exactly?
The university. Well, I don't know if I should say exactly.
But is it in the city?
Yeah, it's in the city.
Okay.
It's University District. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
Definitely.
Nice,
So we're gonna hang out with some college kids.
That's right, and you're gonna be right in the heart of everywhere.
Yeah.
Of downtown, and getting around is so easy. So here's the big thing: when you get to the airport, though, do not hail a cab or an Uber. Find where the queue line is.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, the queue line, that's Detroit. The Link, it's called.
Okay.
Find the Link. $3 gets you a ticket, and you can take that all day. It goes all the way downtown.
Yeah, that was our plan. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. You're gonna love Seattle.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. Yeah, can't wait for the wrestling event. Yeah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna see a Mariners game.
Nice.
For my birthday, we may go see a preseason Kraken game.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah. So,
You should, with the baseball game,
yeah.
honestly, I think you'd be good to wait until the game, right before the game, and you'll get cheap-ass tickets.
Definitely, yeah. Well, they was only cheap, $10 tickets, so.
Oh, well, then you're good either way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Have a great time.
I'm going to have so much fun.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Well, anyway, is that enough, band?
No, it's not enough,
What have you been watching?
Good thing you asked, TJ, because now I'm official member of Letterboxd.
Oh,
I have a Letterboxd account.
Cool.
Yes, so if you want to follow me, it's Michael Moshe.
I don't.
Come on.
I don't have a letterbox.
Follow me. Get a letterbox. We're professional podcasters.
Let me write it down in my notes.
We need letterboxes, TJ.
A letterbox. I'm
Yes.
going to look at that tomorrow and not know what I mean, but you'll have to remind me.
Okay, we need letterboxes. You can follow me at it's not at, but Michael Moshe. Last name Moceri. It's all one word, and the M's are capitalized. Yeah. But yeah, I have a letterbox now, and I write down every movie I watch. So let's see what movies I have today. See, the last movie I watched was Simple Men, directed by Hal Hartley. It was very weird. Because everybody talked like they were doing a monologue the whole time. It was like, I gotta go to the beach. The beach is important. Like, you don't understand my feelings. Oh my god, what? No. It was really weird.
It's like an AI generated.
Yeah,
movie.
it sounded like it was kind of like static acting, but it was after a while it got good. There's this one great scene though where they do a dance scene where it's a cool thing by Sonic Youth, and they just start doing dancing. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Okay, yeah, I'll take your word for it. It sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah. Other movies I watched. See, we have The Emperor's Waltz, which we're going to review.
Yep.
I watched Duel, Steven Spielberg's first movie.
Oh, how was that?
That was awesome.
Nice.
Duel is awesome.
Was that before or after his Columbo episode?
I think after.
Okay.
I think actually not right after, but 1972 I think it was, and Columbo was Yeah, and then Columbo was 1971, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That tracks. Yeah.
Other movies: Encounter of the Spooky Kind, a Chinese horror movie where a guy has to fight the dead. So that was awesome.
Okay.
And I think that's the most. Yeah, I only have 4 movies right now, but more will be added to throughout my time on Earth. I'm gonna keep this until I'm 90. It's gonna keep on going. Yeah. I also just been watching a lot of Corner Gas and Star Trek Lower Decks. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
What about you, TJ? You anything?
Still trucking through Cheers. My dumbass is taking another class, my master's degree pursuit here, and that is taking up a ton of my time. But I am still trucking through Cheers on season 8. Really, really in the heart of that show. Loving it.
Mm-hmm. TJ, why don't you realize that school's for fools? Come on, man.
Dude, I fucking feel like it, man. When I gotta do stuff other than watch wrestling or football on a Monday night.
Yeah.
Let's see, what the hell else did I watch? I obviously watched The Emperor's Waltz. Oh, I started Get Smart.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm only a few episodes in, but that's always been one I've
always a great
wanted
show,
to
yeah.
really watch. I've seen here and there because my dad's a super fan of it. And the biggest highlight thus far is the episode where he goes to spy school to find the mole. And the best part is the recurring joke of people going to the wrong house, and the elderly lady that lives at the house says, "Oh, you want the spy school? It's next door." Because he's like trying to give this like super like secretive passcode, and it's all cryptic, and she goes, "Oh yeah, the spy school, it's next door." It is great. I've been loving that. The few episodes I've seen of that, quality stuff. Movie wise, yeah, not too much. I watch a lot of when I have the free time. TV, like I said, Cheers, or wrestling, or YouTube stuff.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
about the same.
So I'll pick some good movies out, and I'm already looking forward to choosing another 3 for the next.
Yeah,
season.
it's gonna be hard to decide what I'm doing next because
I have my category picked out. I'm gonna screen a few movies with you beforehand, so I don't have to, so you don't double indemnity me again.
Yeah.
That was such a bummer.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
So I went to film school.
No, you got some
sorry,
nerve.
TJ. I won't go to film school, okay?
That's right.
Definitely. Okay,
yeah.
That's everything, I think. Banter time's over. Banter time's over. Banter time's over. Banter time's over.
Enough!
Okay. We're done. That's enough banter. Okay, I guess we'll go on to the movie. This week's movie is what, TJ?
It is The Emperor Waltz.
Yes, and you chose this. Well, you didn't choose this movie, right?
I did an Audible.
You did an Audible, so this is one of the Audibles.
Yes.
Because I surprisingly watched most of the Billy Wilder films. I thought I didn't, but I'm like, oh no, I've seen that. And like I've seen that.
You've seen most of his filmography?
Not most of it, like the most popular ones.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I've seen Double Indemnity. I've seen I'm getting most of them right now.
What was the other one with Marilyn Monroe that I wanted to watch? That you'd already seen. Not the 7-Year Itch. We watched that. What the heck is it called? Oh my god.
Something Like It Hot.
Something Like It Hot.
I've seen Something Like It Hot. I've seen The Apartment.
Yeah.
I've seen Stalag 17. I've seen Sunset Boulevard. Haven't seen Ace in the Hole.
Sunset Boulevard's one I always wanted to see too.
Yeah, haven't seen Ace in the Hole.
Have not?
No. I have not seen the original Sabrina. Have not seen Witness for the Prosecution, Love in the Afternoon, or The Spirit of St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's... So I've only seen like maybe 5 of his films. Maybe 5, yeah.
That's more than I'd seen.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen 3 now.
Okay, so yeah, so we've seen 3. You've seen all 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess let's get into it. I mean...
Might as well, yeah.
Might as well. DJ, what the fuck's The Emperor's Waltz about?
Set in Austria in the early 20th century, the Emperor Waltz tells the story of traveling American salesman Virgil Smith, whose mission is to obtain the Austrian emperor's endorsement of his product, the gramophone. Ooh, cutting edge. While awaiting audience with the emperor, his American verbiage unintentionally labels him a threat to the emperor, and he's unceremoniously discarded from the palace. Later that night, he and his dog Buttons run afoul the Countess Johanna Augusta Franziska von Stolzenberg and her poodle, Scheherazade, who has just been selected to mate with the emperor's poodle. An altercation between the two dogs highlights the contrast in social standing between Virgil and Johanna, who leave on sour terms. When Scheherazade later suffers from anxiety in the presence of other dogs, however, her veterinarian advises Johanna to bring her face-to-face with Buttons to help her overcome this fear. This is arranged, and the magic of music and Bing Crosby spark a romance between not just the dogs, but the owners. Although Virgil and Johanna's relationship starts off well enough, it isn't long before their clash of cultures threatens to break them up. He's given an ultimatum. The emperor will endorse the gramophone if Virgil agrees to cut ties with Johanna. He initially refuses until the emperor convinces him that Newark, New Jersey, Virgil's hometown, is a far cry away from the life to which Johanna is accustomed, and that he won't be able to make her happy long term. Virgil reluctantly agrees and dumps Johanna while pretending he was only dating her for access to the emperor. After some time, Scheherazade gives birth to a litter that was clearly fathered by Buttons, not the emperor's poodle. To save face, Johanna's father, Baron Helenia, tells the emperor the pups were born dead and orders the real ones drowned. Virgil, who has snuck into the palace to see Johanna one more time before returning to America, overhears this and intervenes, saving the litter. He confronts the emperor and exposes the truth of Helenia's deception, as well as the emperor's previous attempts to keep him and Johanna apart. Impressed by his words, the emperor adopts the puppies and grants Virgil and Johanna his permission to marry. The film ends with the two dancing in the palace to the dulcet crooning of Bing Crosby. In the end, some old-timey hilarity ensues.
Woo!
Oh my god. I get too verbose with these. I don't know why I was so into the plot of this one.
Well, it's very plot heavy.
It is very plot heavy.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
is true. For a
1948 film, yeah.
Right, no.
Yeah, as you said, this film was released in 1948, directed by Billy Wilder himself, of course, of Ace in the Hole and The Fun Page. Written by Billy Wilder and Charles Brackett. Starring Bing Crosby from High Society and Sing You Sinners.
Fame, I'm gonna live forever.
Thank you, TJ.
Sorry, I was a sloth today.
Joan Fontaine from Rebecca and Born to be Bad. Ooh.
She better be singing.
Yeah. Richard Hayden from Alice in Wonderland and the Hugger Bunch, which sounds like a racial term, but hopefully it's not.
Yeah, God, seriously.
Sig Rumain from Static 17 and the Hitler Gang. The worst street gang imaginable. Oh, man. That is amazing.
Just by looking at the photo of Richard Hayden, I could guess he played the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland, and sure enough, he did.
Wow.
Just kind of looks like the caterpillar.
I wonder if they based the...
Possible. Didn't they with the Johnny Depp version with Alan Rickman?
Yeah,
you know what?
I don't know.
The less said about that.
Let's just forget about that Alice in Wonderland. Yeah. Okay, so this was, let's see, I think one of Billy Wilder's first kind of hits, I think.
Cool.
Let's look at his filmography and find out. So in 1939, he did Nonitska, which I believe was a huge hit. Of course, World War II happened. He had to abandon Germany. And he wanted to make a movie, I think, about the war, but he went to the concentration camps after the war ended, and he just couldn't do it. He was just like, I'm just so depressed, and just seeing all that hatred and death, because...
Yeah, that would be hard to do.
Yeah, it was hard to do. So instead, he made this movie. He made comedies, because he was just like, I need to do something bright and shiny.
I couldn't imagine what it was like to have seen that, the aftermath of that, to have lived at the time that was going on. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so this wasn't his first major, but let's see. His first movie was Ma Boss Grane, which is a French film. But then he did Double Identity in 1944, which it was a B movie, but was a hit. Then The Lost Weekend, which was also a hit. And then he did The Emperor's Waltz in 1948.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, this is his, I would say, third major hit. I mean, it was a Bing Crosby movie, so it was at least somewhat successful back then.
Yeah.
I mean, the budget was $3.8 million. The box office was $4 million. So it made a lot of money. For $4 million for 1944 standards, that's a lot of money.
Sure.
Definitely. So so him and Backitch, they got together and wrote the film. Okay, so they made this movie, and it was easy to start kind of this movie because like Billy Wilder was a hot name, and Bing Crosby was also a hot name, and they wanted to work together because they, I guess Wilder knew Bing Crosby back in the day when he was still crooning, so they was like, okay, they're together, we greenlight this film, and they did. So that's how this film was made. Inspiration from the film came from Vladimir Poulsen, a Danish inventor who demonstrated his magnetic recording device for Franz Joseph I of Austria in hope of getting funding for his invention, which I believe he did. And surprisingly, the guy who plays Franz Joseph I in the movie, or whoever the fuck his name is, looks exactly like him.
Really?
They actually did a really good job with the makeup. If you look up a photo on Wikipedia, like, wow, that's exactly the same.
Oh, holy shit! Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's how the movie. That's how the inspiration and how the movie started. So I guess we go into it now. So this is a Bing Crosby film.
Yeah.
I think this is the first. No, it's the second Bing Crosby film I've ever seen. The first one was White Christmas. I was in the mood.
Despite having sung the beginning of that song, I've never seen the movie.
Yeah,
This is the only Bing Crosby movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, but I think mostly all Bing Crosby movies are kind of the same.
Yeah.
They're mostly just him singing a song and him fucking women. That's it.
Oh, wow.
That's
we should
it.
all be so lucky,
We
man.
should also be lucky. I think that's just every Bing Crosby movie. It's just
Probably.
like him. Okay, so he became popular in the 30s and 20s, like maybe 30s, with crooning and singing. And then he started doing movies. He had Bob Hope. Him and Bob Hope made a whole series of movies called the Road to movies, Road to Bali, Road to Rio.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
huge success throughout the years.
Yeah.
I think they made 7 of them.
Should watch
Last
those.
one was the 1970s.
Are those good, do you think?
I don't know. Like, I know Conan loves Bob Hope because of the way he... No, I think it was Scott Aukerman who would say that. But I think he also likes Bob Hope.
Okay.
Because I don't know. Like, it's 1950s comedy, so...
Right.
My guess is going to be a lot of racial stereotypes and, like, broads and dames, you know, kind of humor.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But,
Damn,
yeah.
homie lived to be 100, Bob Hope.
Yeah, dude. You
Shit,
smoke
man.
cigarettes.
I knew he was
and
old as fuck, but yeah, wow.
Yeah, and treat people badly all the time. You live to be 100.
Oh,
My
yeah.
guess. I have no idea.
Yeah, it did sound like he was kind of a dick,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
There's this one story I love, though. Conan told it. Conan O'Brien told it. He said, I think he was on the late show. He was on Late Night with, what was his name?
Johnny Carson?
Johnny Carson. They know each other for a long time, obviously. So, I guess for the retirement gift, he gave him a live gift on the air. And, like, so Johnny Carson didn't open it, though, live on air. When he opened it backstage, it was a VCR. So he just got him a shitty VCR.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that would have
Yeah,
been
so at
funny.
least I know that Bob Hope has that type of humor, so that's good. So
I like that kind of humor.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so but if you're gonna watch a Bing Crosby movie, he's gonna sing like this is considered a musical. It's not really a musical.
No.
The music in musicals usually has to do with the plot and have more than just 3 songs. This is just
Yeah, I was surprised that it was not nearly. I thought it would be like like music would play an integral role in the storytelling, the narrative.
It's just
yeah.
Bing Crosby singing love songs, and there's only like John has one good one, and that's
And
the old
yodeling.
one. Yeah,
Which one?
the yodeling song. I think that's the only good one.
yeah.
I think all of those are just forgettable. There's like I don't.
So I had that in my notes. I thought that they were competent, they were good, but they were forgettable for sure.
Yeah.
However, the one that plays at the very end, I knew, and I had to remember where I knew it from. It's called "Love Is a Dream," I believe. That's
Right.
at least the first line. So I just assumed. Back in the day, I feel like every song was named after the first line of it.
Yeah.
So it's like after when they start dancing in the ballroom and the credits start to roll. "Love Is a Dream," and I recognized it, and it took me a while to remember, but it is from this SNL sketch that I'll never forget because it's on my Best of Phil Hartman DVD, and it's about this elderly lady going. It's all black and white, or it starts black and white. She goes into this bank, safe deposit area, pulls out a lockbox, and in it is a tiara. She puts the tiara on her head. The picture turns into color, and then all of a sudden she's young, played by Jan Hooks, and Phil Hartman appears dressed in royal garb and starts lip syncing this song, and they ballroom dance.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre because it's not a comedy sketch at all. But it's just this beautiful, melancholy, just slice of life
Wow.
with this woman, and it's just showing their talents off as dancers, not singers. They're just lip syncing, but it's so bittersweet because it's really quite beautiful and very moving and sentimental. And then you realize both of them died so young. And
Wow.
the podcasters who've listened, they know my feelings on the Phil Hartman murder. I think it's such a tragedy that's not spoken about enough
Yeah.
in Hollywood. So hearing that again was bittersweet.
Damn.
Once I placed that, because
It was just
again,
them dancing. That's it. There's no like funny bits or anything.
no
Wow.
comedy. It's like I said, it's this older woman puts on the tiara, and it's just like just a kind of a take on nostalgia.
Wow.
You know what I mean? From black and white to this regal ballroom, and she's young again, and she's dancing with her, what you'd assume is her deceased husband or something.
Damn.
And it ends with her, going back to it's just. It's like they did one similar with John Belushi that's also equally kind of messed up. Not messed up, but...
Was it the eating donuts track star
No,
thing?
but that's a great one. He's got the cigarette in his hand.
Yeah.
No, he plays an old man, and again, I think it's black and white, and he goes to a cemetery, and he goes, oh, there's old Chevy Chase, and he's like narrating to the camera, we had some great times on the set of SNL, and and he's going through the names, and it's just so eerie to think that this was the guy who passed first.
Damn.
But it's something that SNL would occasionally do, I guess, back in the day, is show off the chops that their actors had.
It's kind of crazy what SNL did back in the day.
It is crazy.
Because I saw, back in the 80s when they were kind of failing, they would just put anything on to get people's attention.
Yeah.
So they put a bunch of magicians on. So you can see Penn and Teller, you can see Harry Anderson do tricks. It's really cool.
I've only seen one episode of SNL in the 80s. It was hosted by John Candy, and holy good God almighty, was it a bad show.
Yeah.
It was such a...
I just kind of miss, the weirdness a little bit.
No, I hear you. And
I'm not saying SNL's bad now. I'm just saying, I kind of miss the weirdness. Just,
I agree.
once in a while you get, a magician, or you get, just a stand-up comic just doing his bit for, 5 minutes.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. It was almost like, if you watch some of the old episodes, especially the 70s when they started, it was like a less is more type thing.
Yeah, because they had no idea what to do,
Right.
so just, there was
You ever
things
seen
out
the
there.
sketch with Steve Martin and Bill Murray where they're just kind of like these two yokels or something, and all it is them just, you don't see anything. It's just the static camera, and it's them walking into the frame and looking at the camera all inquisitively, and Steve Martin will go, "What the hell is that?" And Bill Murray's like, "Oh, what the hell is that?" And it's just 5 minutes of them doing shit like that. "Oh, I know what that is." What the hell is that? It's so good. And it's just let their talent, those two guys could make that funny.
Yeah.
Whereas I did not.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
But regardless, we're not here to talk about SNL.
No, we're not. Unless when we do bad SNL movies.
But you know something? Listen, this has been a fun season. It really has been. Because we've gone from discussing what it means to be human to finding love and loss and tragedy.
Yeah.
To just, this, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's not to downplay this movie, actually.
Yeah.
It's just been, it's hard to go from Your Name to this, I would say.
That is true, yeah.
There's not as much to talk about with this, but
even though to spoil a little bit, I think this is maybe the best Billy Wilder we watched. Yeah. Yeah.
I will get to it next week when we rank, but I don't think that you and I will differ in opinion too much on that.
Mm-hmm.
So we start at a clam bake at the Emperor's Palace.
Clam bakes.
I know, and that piqued my interest. I think I'd heard the word before, but never actually thought about what that means. So I looked it up, and a clam bake is exactly what you think it is. It's a big social gathering where you have this big pile of hot-ass stones with a fire underneath them, and you throw shellfish and chicken or whatever people want to bring, vegetables on top of it, and you just cook, and people come and pick at it, and it sounds awesome.
Yeah. I don't ever seen any clams in the movie.
No, I don't either. They called it a clam bake in that opening scroll that they had, and then immediately it cuts to the inside of the Emperor's. Well, it cuts to an American man in a fedora, Bing Crosby's character, of course, breaking a window and entering the palace. Right? Unless we watch different versions, and because it's weird, because the first. They have flashbacks. The first part of this movie is narrated. Up until the climax. Because he breaks into the Emperor's palace and finds Johanna dancing with another man.
Oh, yeah, the flashback.
Remember?
That's correct, yes.
But it was so unnecessary, though. because the flashbacks are so goddamn long that by the time it goes back to the people telling the story, you're like, oh my god, yeah, I forgot it was a flashback.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, might as well just have it in the movie,
right?
Like instead of like in chronological order, then just going back to it.
It is weird because then at the very end it takes, then it is caught up.
Yeah, it comes up. Yeah, so might as well just keep on going. So
right. Because like it's told by these stuffy ass Austrian I
guess I'm guessing he did that because he wanted to be like a fairy tale or something like that. Maybe, he's telling
but
a story.
It's so infrequent. There's only like 2 flashbacks and they're huge.
Yeah.
So it's like it's not like in Aladdin where you have the peddler. Well, I guess it's actually kind of like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. It was unnecessary, I thought, but it doesn't matter. It's fine.
Yeah.
What I thought was interesting is it's winter in Bavaria or in Austria. And so Bing Crosby climbs the castle walls, smashes a window, opens it quietly while these, Bohemian Austrians are sitting there. Wouldn't they have felt a draft?
I don't know. I don't think they feel anything.
I wrote to the estate of Billy Wilder.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
we'll
good.
see if they get back
You should
to
definitely find these out.
It's worthwhile.
Yeah.
But regardless, they tell the story of... I don't know. What's the first scene in the flashback? It's him waiting basically in the waiting room with his dog Buttons.
Yeah. So no, I think the first scene is Joan Fontaine and her dad just arguing like, we need money. We have no money and stuff like that. And then
well, right, they are of higher standing, but they're not like wealthy.
Yeah, they ran out of money because the dad either spent it all or gambled it all away.
Idiot.
So yeah.
Fucking moron.
Idiot.
There are numbers, by the way, if you have a gambling problem.
Yes, that's 555-625.
But there is a real one if you have a problem.
But that was not the real one. No, that was one I made up.
Yeah, Baron Helenia is his name. And he's a dipshit.
So we need money, and so they decided, we need to marry you off. That didn't work out because she's not interested in marrying anybody. So it's like, we got it. Let's get these poodles to fuck. And I'm like, yeah, poodle fuck. Woo.
That's the last thing of money that he hasn't gambled. That's worth money that he hasn't gambled away.
Yeah, so they go to the emperor to convince him to have these 2 dogs fuck, and so he doesn't feel lonely anymore. That scene was kind of fun. It was just like I want that. He's actually like, I feel lonely. Like I want some companionship.
Yeah.
And he thinks like he wants her to marry him. But he's like, no, I want the dogs to be there. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, and it must have been like, I don't know if that's something people did back then, but like,
I don't know.
They, everyone in that waiting room for the, at the palace had a dog with them. So were they...
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of dogs.
It's like even Virgil, Bing Crosby's character, is there with his dog, Buttons.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, is that the thing that the Emperor does every day? People just wait for him and then give him a request?
I guess so. I mean, like Virgil's not there to... I mean, because Virgil's dog is a boy and the Emperor's dog is a boy, so it's not like it was that. He was trying to sell his gramophone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it was a great way Bing Crosby was introduced. I did love it. Where he goes in, everybody's like all stuffy, and he's just like, "Hi, everybody."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Well, I never. He gets that kind of response.
Yeah. I must say that Bing Crosby did do his Bing Crosby-est in this movie.
Oh, he was so Bing Crosby.
He was so Bing Crosby. It was just like, I'm gonna be Bing Crosby, which was one of the downfalls of this movie. Because if Bing Crosby is just being Bing Crosby, then you're just gonna get a regular Bing Crosby movie.
I gotta tell you though, I know people don't like being typecast, right? And obviously actors want to be known for more than one role.
Yeah.
But I will say this, and I hope it's not controversial, and I apologize to the estate of Bing Crosby if it is, but Bing Crosby is the role that Bing Crosby was born to play.
It's true.
I mean, there's no question.
Definitely.
He was outstanding as Bing Crosby.
He was great. Yeah. Probably was the detrimental to the movie, though, because him and Wilder had some tension behind the scenes because he wanted to do a Bing Crosby movie, and of course Billy Wilder doesn't want to do that. He's like, no, I don't want to do a Bing no. So he just started making up dialogue on his own. I don't think he treated Joan Fontaine well backstage either.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
It was just mostly he was very cold to her. He didn't say hi a lot. Be chummy. I don't know why. It's just weird because he was just drunk all the time. I don't know.
Common courtesy costs you nothing, people.
Yeah. So but once again, if Bing Crosby's in the movie, he's just gonna Bing Crosby everywhere, and he's like, oh, it's a Bing Crosby movie. He's gonna sing some love songs, and that's mostly it. So.
Dude, his singing is so good that he gets 2 dogs to fall in love.
That's true.
And then through the what's the word I'm looking for? It's
I don't
not
know.
forcible kissing on her cheek, but it's kind of like coerced kissing.
Yeah, it's
one of
just
those,
like, yeah, so,
like, oh, this was romantic in the 40s. Yes.
yes. Yeah, so okay, so he goes to the meeting hall, they think he has a bomb, and so they chase him out of the building, and so then they throw the recorder, or what was it called? A xylophone?
A gramophone.
Gramophone into the river. It's like, this is just a gramophone.
Yeah.
You stupid idiots. And then he's just like, I'm Bing Crosby.
A brash American.
A brash American.
Listen, you know what? Honestly, the synopsis, I think, does a good enough job. You can find this movie on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
If you're interested, go watch it. I almost don't feel like we should give people a beat for beat, but
Yeah,
just talk about
true.
the main points in this.
We'll talk about the main points, yeah.
I mean, so, yes. So the dogs fall in love after, well, the first night, they
hate each other,
the dogs get into a tussle, which brings Johanna and Virgil together. They argue they're completely from different classes. Virgil's a brash American, and she's kind of a high-ranking Austrian.
Yeah. I'm from New Jersey.
Socialite.
Hey!
He was from Newark, New Jersey, and we'll have a game that's kind of plays into that later on, by the way. But the whole first discussion they have highlights the difference in their classes, right?
Yeah.
And they leave on a bad note, and suddenly the dogs have separation anxiety from one another. Mm-hmm. And Johanna's vet says, "Oh, we have to get her to face her fears, whatever." So
I did love the vet. The vet was great.
Yeah, the vet was good. He was a Sigmund Freud guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he makes a reference to Freud, or this is what Freud would call whatever. And yeah.
So why didn't he give the dog cocaine?
That's a great question, actually. Or why didn't he try to get the dog to fuck its mom?
That's true.
Yeah.
Why not just do that? I mean,
yeah,
it's
seriously. But regardless, the dogs have to get together to overcome their fears. They fall in love when Bing Crosby plays the piano and sings to them.
Yeah.
And this kind of starts a relationship with him and Johanna, right? Who, again, as you mentioned earlier, doesn't want to just marry for social standing purposes. Which I respect, because at the turn of the 20th century, that probably wasn't too common.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask. Let me take us out of this film for a minute, because this was my first thought. This was 1948.
Yeah.
Do you think it was at all considered bold or controversial to make a movie about Austrians?
I don't think so, because it wasn't really, well, it was mostly focused on Germany, and then, if I'm correct, I've kind of forgot my world history, but, so Germany invaded Austria, correct?
They invaded Poland, to be honest. I probably should know, but I don't. I just know that Adolf Hitler was Austrian born.
True.
I do know that.
But this is not from that time, because this is...
Well, it takes place... Right,
it takes place, like, in the 1900s, like probably 1902 or something like that.
And it's worth noting that it does not laugh at Europeans.
No.
It definitely... I'll get into my thoughts about Billy Wilder. I think it definitely comments on their bohemian
lifestyle and stuff like that.
It definitely comments
on,
like, the
he's
socialites.
trying to remember, like, the old Germany, Germany and Austria that's fun and, like, full of beautiful hills and everything.
Before they got, like, overly aggressive for no good reason. I mean, seriously. But I do think that this movie...
No, TJ, hold on. I got a hot take right here.
Yeah.
You know the Adolf Hitler guy?
Yeah.
He was a bad dude.
Dude, he was a piece of...
He was a really bad person, man. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know, that's why I wonder, because, like, one thing I find interesting about World War II that we don't really learn about in school is that it did take the general populace a long time to learn about really how bad the Holocaust was.
Yeah, sure.
That's why you still have people like Mel Gibson's dad and shit that, like, would actually deny. Like, I mean, that's the thing, like, people knew that, like, Jewish people were being rounded up and shit like that, but I don't think they realized the magnitude with which they were being murdered.
Yeah, because after the war, they made people just go through the camps to see, like, what was really happening.
Oh, yeah, they collected, like, tons of, like, clothing and eyeglasses and shoes, like, just things that were... I think that's what's interesting. Nowadays, we have the internet, right? And we can access world news at any time. Mm-hmm. Back then, though, it wasn't quite like that. So... I don't know. I'm not going to comment on what people knew or didn't know back then, but I just thought that was interesting, like, if it hit a sore spot with anybody.
I don't know. From what I see, there was no backlash for this movie.
And I'm sure that there wasn't.
Because, I don't know, mostly dealt with Austrian. It dealt with the 1900s. It didn't deal with what's going on now.
Yeah.
And everything else. Also about that, so I was reading a book about punk, and Didi Ramone, the bassist of the Ramones, he used to live in Berlin. like I think in the 1950s, and he and the kids used to go around the fields and pick up old Nazi like stuff that was found on the field because that stuff had been cleared up. Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got?
It was really weird, like reading the history of punk, because a lot of people were like they weren't into Nazism, they weren't Nazis. They just liked how dark it was. They liked how taboo it was. You know how like kids today look through stuff to like be insane. You know, like going to like say like they dress in black and all that stuff. It was kind of like that. Yeah, it was really weird though.
Do neo-Nazis realize that Hitler and his friends were like methed up all the time?
Probably.
Like on large amounts of methamphetamine. Like he was insane.
Yeah.
Genuinely insane.
Of course he was.
All right, but enough
of World War II.
Again, this movie's hard to talk about.
Yeah.
But here's what I will say. I think that this movie does a good job of... I think a major theme of it, rather, is American exceptionalism. And it's not a bad thing. It's not... It doesn't show... You know, Virgil, Bing Crosby, is a fish out of water, right?
Yeah.
He's amongst these Austrian socialites and these Austrian mountain men who are cutting logs and yodeling. And he definitely sticks out, but I don't think the movie necessarily shows him as better or the Austrians as worse.
Yeah.
There is one scene where the Austrian emperor does concede to him that he doesn't want Johanna to marry him because, you know, he thinks that secretly deep down...
She'll miss everything. Yeah.
Well, right, and he admits that deep down he does believe that Americans are better than Austrians.
Yeah, because
he compares them to a snail. He says, "You take us out of our shell and we shrivel up and die. If you take us away from this facade of decadence and this elitism, so to speak, they shrivel up and die." But I didn't necessarily see it as anti, just so much as a changing of the times. Yeah. And America was obviously becoming, at the turn of the century, was fast becoming the superpower, right? The biggest one. But that was the biggest theme I got out of it. That's why they have this odd couple relationship here.
Yeah, you definitely see that in the film. Obviously because of Bing Crosby character. Also because the end kind of just spells it out for you. Like, you have two different people from two different classes. Like, it's not going to work out. Like, she's going to be at home with your mother and, like, getting missing balls and dances and high functions, and
classic, a man speaking for a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Projecting his values onto somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah, so they fall in love. Then Bing Crosby does his Bing Crosby thing. He sings love songs on an island.
What'd you think of that island?
It's a fun little island.
It was a fun little island. It was a very significant little island, too. See, I have some notes about the island.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. The island is literally separate from the mainland and figuratively a place where both Virgil and Johanna can be who they are and pursue what they want completely independent of others around them and their expectations of them.
Look at us.
Yes, they use this island for their secret rendezvous.
Look at us, diagnosing films.
And it's funny because the dogs were the ones that met on the island first. Because Scheherazade, the poodle, she couldn't stay away. She just needed to be with Buttons. See, that's where this all starts, is it's an odd couple between not just the humans, but the dogs. And I had myself thinking at one point, isn't this the plot of 101 Dalmatians? To some degree, didn't the Dalmatians owners got the owners together?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
But there was no Bing Crosby in that.
No, there was no Bing Crosby. There's Cruella de Vil though. So
she terrified me as a kid.
Yeah, I just remember the Glenn Close one. That's most of the one I remember.
I think to be honest, I saw that as a kid and not since, but I'm sure she did a fine job.
Yeah.
I can't believe they made like a Cruella de Vil like origin movie.
Yeah. And the dogs go to pants.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. The dogs go to pants.
Oh no! No way!
It's hilarious.
Like maliciously?
No, I think he was just. I think they accidentally pushed off the mother, like the caretaker figure, and it's just like she hates dogs now.
Oh my god! Yeah, let's humanize Cruella.
Yeah, because you know how like every backstory now is like, why is your name Han Solo? It's like.
Because he's by himself.
He's by himself. Shit, yeah, it's just like, no, like, I don't know, your name can just be Han Solo. I don't fucking know. Like, I don't care.
Right.
You don't need to explain your name to me.
His name's Han Solo because that's how I named him. Is what George Lucas would say if he were here.
Yeah.
So yeah, significance of the island is their rendezvous point, and it's, I think, just kind of symbolic in a way.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, after they fall in love, then, they play around a little bit. I think then it goes into like the drama of it all. Like then it goes into like oh, like, I'm going to go to the king today. I'm going to pitch him, like, us getting married. Like, oh, no, you can't.
The Emperor, Mo. It's
The
not
Emperor?
the King's Waltz. It's the Emperor Waltz.
That's true. It's not the king's waltz. It's the emperor's waltz. Dang. Messed
It's all
up.
good.
Yeah. So the emperor's like, no, you can't get married. Like, you shouldn't do it. Because, like, I've seen this before. My niece married, like, a pool boy or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, they lived in terrible... Like, he died or something, and now she's a drunk. And then there was another drunk. And they're like, okay, so, like, Bing Crosby... This actually, when the movie started getting, like, real deep for me, I felt like, oh, this is, like, now turning into an actual love story. Like, because Bing Crosby, he's not doing it just for the money, for the phonograph or something. He's just like, I love her, but I have to get rid of her because I know we're not going to be a match. So he's like, then she's just like, I got you. Like, this is all part of my plan. I'm just using you to get to the emperor and sell my product. Yeah.
Well, right. He takes the fall. The Emperor says,
the fall.
you know, if you take her out of Austria and bring her to Newark, she'll be unhappy. You can't possibly make her happy.
Exactly.
And so that's when he kind of gets convinced of that, and he says, well, let me spare her feelings by... I guess he thought he'd spare her feelings by telling her, oh, no, this was all a ruse.
Yeah.
So he gets the Emperor's, endorsement on the gramophone, but he has to break up with her. And, I think that this is still more playing into the American exceptionalism theme.
That we're willing to make sacrifices.
Well, it's not... Well, that, and it's more so America represented, and still does to some degree. I mean... I hate the cliche of, oh, we represent freedom. But I think just in our cultural values, we're more about, like, you can pick up and move. Like, think about it. We're in Michigan. We could pick up and move to Alaska.
Yeah, that's true.
Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
We're not as family-centered. We're not as tradition-centered. Americans always were breaking the mold. So he kind of represents the freedom to go wherever and be whoever they want to be. And she, Joanna, represents kind of loyalty to family and country more so.
Right.
And I think that she worries that if she were to move to America with Virgil, her family's standing would suffer because of it. Right? There is like a bit of a concern there. And it was Johanna's father that talks about the daughter of a garbage man being the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. But despite that, he did the right thing by leaving her with the trash, as he says.
Ooh.
Dickhead
move. Yeah.
But yeah, and again, like there's more of it then too, because even when the puppies are born, the bastard pups, Virgil's the champion of them. Yeah, they're not some pedigree dog, right? They're a mutt. They're looked at as less in value. But he champions them, whereas Helena, her father, orders them to be killed instantaneously for being different.
Because like once again, you find out that the dogs don't mate, then he's gonna lose all the money.
It is interesting. Billy Wilder was Austrian, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I will say that this movie does make the American perspective look better than the Austrian, but it's more so Helena being the villain. Like the Emperor, the Emperor comes off as a villain, right? He's an antagonist for the first.
I mean, I think he's just seen as like, he is from Austria-Hungary.
So well, he's got to preserve. He's seen it. I think he's kind of a figure of conservatism. Where
kind of like
we
that.
need to keep things the way they are now. He's afraid. He says about the whole snail analogy. If you pull us out of our shell, we shrivel up. He's afraid of the change in a way. But by the end of it, when he sees those puppies, when he sees the little mutts, he falls in love with them. And he says he gives them his blessing for them to get married. She says, "I'll take that 1 in a million chance to be happy," and she goes with him.
Yeah. And they live happily ever after.
Here's hoping.
Yeah. Hoping they just yodel a lot. They're the yodeling family.
Yeah, they could be.
Yeah. The neighbors hate them, though. They're just like, you fucking goddamn yodelers.
It really brings the property value
it does,
down.
Damn fucking yodelers coming to town.
Yeah.
Damn.
What'd you think of the music? I think we kind of touched on it.
We kind of touched on it a little bit. Once again, the best part was the yodeling part because it was so fun. Just them all yodeling and then they get the German guys that is dancing. It was like I was in Frankenmuth.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the scenery of all the rolling green hills.
Yeah, that was good.
No, those are my favorite scenes. Actually, is when he's on the road with Buttons and he's in his lederhosen and he's yodeling.
And it's like yodeling.
And then Johanna and her father and Scheherazade, their poodle, drive by, and Scheherazade's got the rich person driving.
I love the costume.
With
I
the
forgot
goggles.
about that.
Remember the goggles?
I wrote that down. Yeah. The Superman, the superhero gimmick.
That was so great.
Oh my god, I wrote that down. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was so good.
Yeah, that was great. The dog's got full on rich, snooty driving attire.
Oh, that was so great.
goggles
I
and
took notes
yeah.
about this. Yeah. So yeah, superhero costumes.
That was
Fantastic. They gave the dog Randy at one point during the movie.
Oh jeez.
There was a dance break. I wrote Bing Crosby psycho sex. I don't know what that means.
Huh.
I love my notes because they're really random sometimes. Oh yeah, does Bing Crosby use the dentist system? That's one of my big.
The dental system?
The dentist system.
Oh, good God. No, he does come off as a dentist.
Yeah,
system
the dentist,
guy,
yeah.
doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, see, haha has the fuck old lady. Oh yeah, because the Joan Fontaine's dad has to fuck the old lady at the end. It's like, this is what you get!
Oh, yeah.
It's like, haha, you have to fuck old
Right.
people.
The worst fate that could
The worst
possibly
fate
befall
imaginable.
anybody.
Ha 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 ha. Oh yeah, when the town plays the violins, everybody plays like string instruments like violins and cellos. I want a movie where it's just the lone woodwind instrument player, where he's like the rebel in the society.
That is a great that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's just like instead of him playing the violin or the cello, it's like, no, I must play the flute.
And the rest of the community is like,
Oh no,
he's a rebel.
he's a rebel.
A rebel without a cause.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think this was the Citizen Kane castle.
Was it?
It looked exactly like, I don't know when Citizen came out in 1942, 1947. So they could have used, so I remember at the very end, I was looking at the castle, looking at the background, and I remember the scene, I think it's a scene where he's alone in the house, Kane, and he's just walking around and you see like a giant ass fireplace. And I see that fireplace in the background, so I'm wondering, wait, was that just, did he use that set from Citizen Kane?
Sure.
I'm not sure though exactly, but yeah. I also have buttons.
Yeah, I know.
There's buttons.
I know. Not red, but he's buttons.
There's buttons.
He's a
Red
good
buttons.
boy.
I don't know. I don't know why I just have buttons in like an apostrophe. Buttons. Let's see. I think that's mostly it. Then I wrote heartbreak.
Oh.
Sadness. That's all my notes.
We got a happy ending at least.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, I'm ready. I'm good to get into final
Yeah,
thoughts.
I think we've gone through the movie.
It's a tough one to talk
It's
about.
a tough one to talk about. Anything else? Let's see what else we got. What else scenes I like? I like the scene where they're in the woods and they're trying to hunt, but then he's just playing his music.
That was good. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like this film, it's a breeze. So
I'll be honest
breeze.
too. If I was around at the time, I think I would have found this movie to be very funny. Like a good amount of humor.
Yeah, it was super breezy. If you have nothing to do on a Saturday like afternoon or night, just pop on this movie. This is like the rewatchables of today.
You can do worse.
Yeah, you just going through TV, you see this movie, like, oh, this movie's on. Oh, yeah, let's finish the rest of it. It's fine. Yeah. So I guess we'll go through. Yeah, I guess we'll give our final thoughts. Okay. This movie, expectation wise, I don't know. I didn't even think about it at all. This is a Bing Crosby movie, so you think you're gonna get a Bing Crosby movie, you're gonna see him sing the love songs. Joan Fontaine did a good job for what she was given.
Yeah.
She had to be played a stuck-up person, which she did amazingly, and also her scenes where they were breaking up were very heartfelt, and you can feel the emotion in her when they really did feel for each other. Mm-hmm. So at least they had that, so that's good. So unfortunately, this was 1948, or 47. So it's really, I don't think her character was that pledged out mostly. She was like, "You're a stuck-up bitch." I'm like, "Okay, got it," and then she just played that role. So yeah, she was given some background, some heart, but I feel like I wish she could have done more. But once again, the roles she was shooting for, she did. Mm-hmm. So that's good. All of the background actors were great. The dad was really evil and somewhat funny in some moments. Of the Emperor, he was great.
Yeah.
He played, and the vet was great. I don't know. If you want to watch a Bing Crosby film, watch this film. I'll give it maybe 2.5 stars. Like, this movie's okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just if you want to watch this movie, go ahead. If you want to see some yodeling, which you all do,
yeah,
because yodeling's coming back, people. We're bringing back yodeling.
Yeah, we
decided. Okay, I would say you watch this movie. If you want to watch it with your grandparents, go ahead. I don't know. Yeah.
Spend time with your grandparents.
Spend time with your grandparents.
If you can and they're not scumbags, spend time with your grandparents.
Yeah, so them Bing Crosby.
Greatest gift you can give them is time, people.
Yeah, and Bing Crosby.
And Bing Crosby.
Yeah, definitely.
Although grandparents these days, I mean, shit, grandparents these days were born after this, I feel like.
That's true, yeah. How drunk do you think Bing Crosby was on the set?
Probably decently.
Yeah, definitely. Because he ran with the Rat Pack, I think, right? He ran with
I'm sure
Frank
he
Sinatra
did.
and all of them.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
He wasn't part of the Rat Pack.
No.
But
he was not in the Boeing Ocean 11, the 1960 version.
Do you think that drove him nuts?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, he was in... Okay, so he was nominated for like 2 Oscars, I think. One for High Society, and then one he won for the Belle of St. Mary's, I think it was called. He played a priest. So it was like his top, like, most memorable films, I think, besides the World Video stuff, so... But once again, like, this movie's fine. It's not gonna knock your socks off. Like, it's not gonna be like a Billy Wilder classic, but it's okay. So yeah, 2.5 stars. You know, if you want to see some Bing Crosby goodness, just watch it.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it pretty much sums up how I feel too. Nothing bad, nothing great. The plot's fun. The acting is actually really good. The acting is definitely a highlight. I don't think any of the characters are really terribly fleshed out, but that's kind of the style of the time.
Yeah.
Joanna, I will say, was a more progressive woman than I would have guessed from a 1948 movie, just in that she makes it clear to her father that, you know, she doesn't want to just marry for social status. Mm-hmm. And he kind of just accepts it, which is the one redeeming quality he's shown to have, is he does seem to love her, or at least, you know, respect her. The music is fine, but forgettable.
Yeah,
aside from that one song that makes me think of Phil Hartman and Jan Hooks. Yeah, again, this does feel like, and I think we said this about the Sherlock Holmes one too. This does feel like a movie and I love the kind of aesthetic.
Yeah.
The Turner Classic Movie type.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
On a Sunday afternoon when you're flipping channels and you just come across this grainy old, you know. Actually, it looked great too.
Yeah, it did look good. The Technicolor looked amazing.
Yeah, the Technicolor looked great.
Well, the shots were amazing because Billy Wilder back then, you know, Billy Wilder's a great director, of course, and he also must have had a great cinematographer. I mean, all the backgrounds and everything was great. They shot this in Canada in a national park. It is called Jasper National Park in Canada in 1946. Mm-hmm. The studio shipped out pine trees and planted them across the park for $20,000 because Wilder was very unhappy at how the trees looked in Canada, and $4,000 for white daisies died.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a prima donna.
What a prima donna.
But he's probably right, though.
Yeah.
It does look good as a result.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd give it 3 out of 6.
Yeah.
You could do far worse. I definitely enjoyed this more than the other 2 we watched.
Definitely, yeah.
Not to telegraph anything. Yeah, you could do worse. I don't have too much to say, but it was pleasantly surprised by it. I thought the plot was surprisingly fast-paced.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was well-paced, too.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoyed it.
Definitely. Yeah, so those were our thoughts on The Emperor's Waltz.
Mm-hmm.
Not as exciting as last time when I basically broke down and had a nervous breakdown because I was describing the plot of Your Name.
They're a little bit different movies.
I think there's a theme to all these movies we watch here. The accidental theme. These are movies that Billy Wilder wanted to make, but just always had trouble. Like, couldn't get what he wanted. You know, for the Sherlock movie, he wanted to be 2 hours long, have multiple parts, be like episodic.
Yeah.
Studio was like, no, we're gonna cut it down. So that right there is a problem. Okay, and Something Like It Hot, he wanted to be more sexier, more full of drama and stuff like that. No, you couldn't do that. The studio shut him down and the coach shut him down. And this one, he wanted to also have his way, but no, Bing Crosby was like, no, I'm gonna make a Bing Crosby movie. Mm-hmm. So each of one of these films had like a situation where Billy Wilder couldn't be Billy Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like, unfortunately, out of this happened circumstances, the movies we chose was the least Billy Wilder of his movies.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that stinks. Yeah. So that's Billy Wilder. Let's see, anything else we got here? Any more facts I got? Wilder recalled Bing Crosby was a big star, the biggest, and he thought he knew what was good for him. He sensed what his audience expected and knew how to deliver it. The picture didn't come out what I wanted, but it wasn't Crosby's fault, it was mine, because he couldn't control the situation. The weather was also uncooperative. Fontaine was ill for some time. Wilder had surgery, which caused the film to run over schedule and over budget. And some post-production problems, because he was dissatisfied with the exteriors due to the film being Technicolor. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, he wanted it to be like a Ernest Lubitz film. You remember To Be or Not to Be?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mel book we made in 1980, and they did a rapping Nazi, if I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've watched that movie. It's amazing. It says people go watch it. It's really beautiful and hilarious, in fact. And he also made Heaven Can't Wait. So he wanted that. He wanted that type of movie. He wanted to be elegant and sophisticated, also with this charm and some kind of humor to it. So, yeah. Which he got some of it, but once again, Bill Cosby's like, I'm gonna take this over. I'm gonna make a Bing Crosby movie, and he did.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah. Reception for this movie. It was okay. Rotten Tomatoes wise, I mean, they didn't have Rotten Tomatoes in 1948, but today it's like 73%.
How did they live, those savages?
I know. How did they live? It was a good 3 out of 5. Yeah. So basically, what we all just said, it's a Bing Crosby movie. You're gonna get fucking Bing Crosby. That's it. Let's see, anything else? Okay, so that's mostly it. Let's go to the awards, shall we? Boo, boo, boo. Award season. Awards. 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 Okay, so the Oscars for this year. This was not nominated for the Best Picture at all. It was nominated for some. Nominated for Best Costume Direction. This was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Color Costume Design for Edith Head and Gil Steele, but lost to Dorothy Jenkins and Barbara Kowinska for Joan of Arc, and also nominated for the Academy Award for Best Scoring of a Musical Picture for Victor Young, but lost to Johnny Green and Roger Edens for Easter Paradise. Easter Parade. Easter Parade. Movies I have not heard of.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, Best Picture that year, winner was Hamlet. Laurence Olivier's Hamlet, which I tried to watch one time but fell asleep.
A roaring, great review there.
Yeah. Especially it says Hamlet. If you've seen Hamlet once, you've seen it twice. You know, it's just like I've seen the most recent one, which was the Kenneth Branagh Hamlet, that I thought was very great.
Yeah.
I particularly loved Billy Crystal and Robin Williams in it, especially Robin Williams. He was great in it.
Nice.
Johnny Belinda, The Red Shoes, The Snake Pit, and The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Probably the film that should have won. So I watched that film and it was great. So yeah, Humphrey Bogart gave a great, amazing performance in that. The top 10 films of 1948 was The Snake Pit, Red River, Key Largo, The Three Musketeers, Easter Parade, Sorry Wrong Number, Yellow Sky, A Date with Judy, Words and Music, and On an Island with You. And The Emperor Waltz was 14th that year. Yeah.
Okay.
Once again, never heard mostly any of these movies. Except for Key Largo, which I think I watched. Yes, I did watch Key Largo. Another Hogarth film. So yeah, so that's mostly it. Yeah, we kind of just like, we didn't end on like a high. We had a high, and this is the downfall. This is like the falling action of this, yeah. So yeah, this was season 4?
It was an epilogue to season
it's
3 or 4,
season.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and next week, or 2 weeks from now, we'll review new movies and we'll rank them.
Yep.
Yeah, but for right now, TJ, you have a game for me, don't you?
I do. See, all this movie, obviously this movie takes place in Austria,
yeah.
But there's a lot of talk of Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey.
That's right, and I definitely get that vibe.
I want a Ripper dog, man. Give me a Ripper, double Ripper.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I was thinking of this whole movie.
Okay.
So I thought, what 2 pieces of media, television specifically, do you think of when you think of Newark, New Jersey, and the tri-state area as a whole?
I don't know, TJ, what?
Well, obviously The Sopranos and Welcome Back, Kotter.
Ah.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to read a little brief synopsis of an episode, and I want you to tell me if this is a Sopranos or Kotter episode.
That's good. Quick note before we start. New Jersey is in the news today because I believe a congressman took bribes from the Egyptian government using 1 kilogram bars of gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I know who you're talking about. That Melinda, or yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I think it was a congressman from New Jersey. He was bribed with bars of gold, and he had money in his jackets.
This is a James Bond character?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. It was great. New Jersey, man, it's weird. They have a weird like political system there, where like New Jersey's not really run by the governor; they're run by like county heads.
Yeah.
It's really weird. If you listen to the podcast "New Jersey is the World" by Chris Gethard, it's really interesting to hear about. They talk about New Jersey, all the weird stuff in it, the government, the food. Yeah, so it really makes me really want to go to New Jersey because it's a weird place, has great pizza, and like really cool hot dogs. So yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, so let's play this game, PJ.
Okay, cool.
Brooklyn and New York and New Jersey.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got it. All right. So for the sake of just simplicity, instead of saying, like the Soprano Crew or the Sweat Hogs, I'm just going to refer to them both as the gang.
Okay.
And this is not an It's Always Sunny reference, but it just sounds it's easier that way, okay?
Okay.
So number 1, the gang counter-protests a Columbus Day protest.
I want to say Welcome Back, Kotter, because I don't know why mafia people would protest something.
Okay, and I will give you your answers at the end.
Okay. No, I'm gonna go Sopranos.
Change into Sopranos?
Yeah.
That's your final answer.
My final answer. I'm gonna do a wild card one for that one.
Okay. Number 2, the gang holds a telethon to raise funds.
I'm gonna go Welcome Back, Kotter on that one.
Cotter, okay.
Yeah. So I have seen that episode, but once again, that could also be as episode of Sopranos. I haven't seen one episode. I've seen, as you know, I don't know if I told this on the show, I've seen the last episode of Sopranos. In fact, the very last scene of Sopranos I've seen.
Don't stop.
But yeah,
That's just where it cuts out, yeah.
I remember that day too, because my parents were so confused. Like, what the fuck happened?
A lot of people thought the TV was messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Number 3. A nasty flu breaks out amongst the gang, forcing the non-sick members to hang with a different crew.
I wouldn't think these would be so close, but I'm going Sopranos. That could actually be an episode of Welcome Back, Kotter.
All right, number 4. One of the gang becomes a priest at the wish of his dying grandmother.
I'm going Kotter on that one.
Okay. Number 5. Two members of the gang are lost in the woods in the middle of winter and forced to survive off of mustard packets.
Okay, I think that's definitely Sopranos.
Okay. Number 6. The gang organizes a sit-in to protest the lackluster quality of the food they've been receiving recently.
Kotter. I'm going back and forth. I know one of these has to be like, there actually is like 2 Sopranos episodes where they do a sit-in or something.
That tells me it's a good game then.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. All right, and last one, I did 7 because that's a nice round easy number, right?
Yeah.
Believing that one of his underlings killed their prized racehorse, the gang's leader brutally chokes him to death in a fury. He then enlists the help of another gang member who was high on heroin to dismember and bury his body.
Is that the 4th season of Welcome Back, Kotter?
It might have been after John Travolta
It might have been
left.
after John Travolta left and also Gabe left.
They changed direction.
Changed directions, man. Horse sack went crazy. Who knew? I'll go Sopranos on that one.
Okay, Sopranos. All right, let's go through these then really quickly.
Okay.
For the first one, the gang counter-protests the Columbus Day protest. You said Sopranos.
Yeah.
This is an episode of The Sopranos.
Why would
that's what people don't understand is like, it's funny watching The Sopranos. I'm a millennial, right?
Yeah.
A lot of like older people, it's kind of been noted, like saw The Sopranos and it was a phenomenon, but like it was considered in the same vein as like Godfather or Goodfellas.
Yeah.
You watch this show now with a modern lens, and you realize it is also it really doubles as a comedy. It's a very dark comedy, but yes, you have episodes like this. The main point of the episode is called Christopher. The main plot line, or maybe it was the beat, but regardless, it gets a lot of time, is them getting mad about a Native American group protesting Columbus Day. And they don't bother to, try and understand why or anything. They just go to this protest and start shouting, "This is anti-Italian discrimination." And these are hardened gangsters. This is the funniest thing in the world to me.
Yeah.
That they pulled that off.
I gotta watch more Italian shit. Fuck. I haven't watched The Godfather. I haven't seen The Sopranos.
I don't know.
I'm
how
lucky
you
I've
call
seen
yourself an
Goodfellas.
Italian, man.
Yeah, I know. I should just throw myself in the river, man.
Okay, maybe, actually, yeah. No. Just kidding. Number 2, the gang holds a telethon to raise funds. You said Welcome Back, Kotter, and that one is indeed Welcome Back, Kotter.
I remember that episode.
Although I love the episode. I love the idea of Tony Soprano and like all his friends sitting around at a bunch of telephones.
It's like a fund for something. Like, we need a telethon to
exactly, like for kids with cancer, and then they just take the money.
The best thing about that Welcome Back, Kotter episode is at the very end, where like Gabe's trying to raise the final money. It's like, do you want these kids in your classroom?
No.
And then it's like, no. And then it's like, watch, okay, Barbarino, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, then boom, boom, like, hi there.
Yeah. Horseshack, hello.
Hello, how are ya? And then
Yeah.
Rob Simpson's just be like, I can't describe it. It's so great.
No, I know what you mean, though. He uses a reverse tactic.
Yeah,
To
and
get
then
the
Gabe
money,
has to do a song at the very end because his mom wants him to.
Yeah, that's right. She was the last caller. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nice work on that. Number 3, about the flu breaking out, and the non-sick members have to move and hang out with a different crew. You said Sopranos. That was actually Welcome Back, Kotter.
Damn.
Yep.
I should think like because they wouldn't hang out with the other gang members of the other rival.
Occasionally
crime
they
family.
do work with the New York mob, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
tenuous relationship at best. The New York mob does not respect them. Okay, number 4. One of the gang becomes a priest at the wish of his dying grandmother. You said Welcome Back, Kotter. Well done. That was Welcome Back, Kotter. That was Barbarino. His grandmother passes, and she, her dying wish is for him to become a priest. And he starts being holier than, all holy type. And then I believe at the end he realizes, oh shit, now I can't date. And then he says, sorry, Grandma. And goes back to being Barbarino.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. 2 of the gang are lost in the woods in the middle of winter and forced to survive off mustard packets. You said Sopranos, and that indeed was the Sopranos.
I know that episode.
That's
That's like
episode.
Probably people say that's the best episode of Sopranos.
It's one of the best, yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't know why because it's so is it so weird or just like.
It's definitely a little weird. It's kind of got like a little supernatural tinge to it in a weird way. The show very rarely would do that, but it did have like a little bit of supernatural. They're chasing a guy that they were supposed to whack because if he gets free, it's a big problem.
Yeah.
And the guy escapes multiple bullet shots and whatnot, and they just lose track of him. They can't find him. Like his trail ends, and he's like a survivalist. Like he's like a Czech mercenary. He was a Russian guy that works for the KGB or something. So he's super dangerous and. It is a very famous episode, and it is a very good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I don't watch the episodes.
That's got some good comedic bits in it too, where they're lost in the woods and Tony's trying to talk to them, and they're breaking up on the phone, and he's saying, "Listen, he worked for the Department of the Interior in Russia. You have to get this guy, and he's breaking up, and so like when they hang up the phone, Paulie turns to Christopher and goes, "You're not gonna believe this. Was an interior decorator." It's classic because they were just, and then Christopher goes, "Really? His apartment looked like shit." It's great.
Yeah.
All right. That is a classic.
That was directed by Steve Buscemi.
Yes.
Episode. Yes.
He later was in the show.
Yes, he was. Yeah. He directed some. He directed some movies. Tree Lounge. I think it's called Tree Lounge.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, he directed some stuff. People thought like. I don't know, he made some good movies. People thought like, oh, he's directing now. Maybe he could be like the next director. That didn't really work out. I guess he just stuck to acting. Maybe because he wanted to do it more. Or maybe because he had bad experiences directing.
Dude, he's like the best character actor of all time. So I'm not even gonna be.
He also directed that one 30 Rock episode where it's Leap Day.
I haven't seen that one
Oh
yet.
man, it's so good.
I'm only like on season 4. I have to get back into that because that is a great show.
Yeah, that was the later seasons when everything just went off the rails. So
that is a great show.
Yeah,
I do have to get back into that. Too much good stuff to watch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 6. The gang organizes a sit-in to protest the food they've been receiving recently. You said Kotter, and that is Kotter.
Yes.
Nice work.
That would be a weird Sopranos episode.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. These were meant to be a little tongue-in-cheek here, but I'm glad that you struggled as much as you
I kind of did, because I kept on going, like, Kotter, Soprano, but I'm like, he has to, like, one of these things has to be not like the other. So.
I was thrilled that you at least backtracked on the first one about Columbus Day, because that one, really, you could see being either way.
Yeah.
Like, really. And finally, despite, the one where the prize racehorse is killed mysteriously, and the leader of the gang chokes the other guy to death and enlists the help of the other gang member who's high on H to dismember and bury his body. You said Sopranos. It is the Sopranos. Nice work.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would have been a weird Welcome Back Kotter episode.
That would have been a weird Welcome Back Kotter episode. Maybe they tried to change it to drama since Gabe left. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a classic, though, too, where one of them... Yeah, I won't spoil anything. You should watch it. It's a good
I should
show.
definitely watch Sopranos.
It's a very good show.
I think I might watch Fargo, the series.
That I've heard is also excellent. I gotta watch that.
I think that's,
I love the movie.
Who doesn't love the movie? I watched it with my father. He said, okay. Found it to be very weird, especially the wood chipper scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely an absurdist humor to it because it's like so, it's such a hard-boiled, no, not mystery. I don't know if it's hard-boiled, but like, it's a small town Minnesota. They're all speaking like this, eh?
Yeah, it's I saw like a short clip of something that said like it's fake nice. They're really all pissed off, but it's like they're still nice about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite part is when the wood chipper is going, so he can't hear her. So she points to her hat with the badge, the police badge on it, because he can't hear her saying police.
Yeah.
And he just starts
Does
running.
Steve Buscemi's body get stuck at one point?
Yeah. Yeah, because then he's using like the foot to jam
it out. Yeah.
That's a great.
I wish this movie had that. Why? How come?
That would have been nuts.
That would have been nuts.
Cool though.
He fucking kills the dad. Just like
that would have been something.
Yeah. This is New Jersey style, bitch. No, he'd sing it. He'd be like, oh.
Someone compiled every O or ho in the show, and it's 3.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
Yeah, so that was the show. This was season 4. Next week or so, or 2 weeks from now, we will do our rankings and the new movies from the new season. Mm-hmm. Ooh, hopefully we don't have to change any.
I'm going to run them by you first.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be smart about it this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know, once again.
We're doing direct-to-video RoboCop sequels, baby.
Fuck yeah. I'm down for that.
Could you imagine going
How many direct-to-video RoboCops out? Because there's...
They were like the sci-fi movies.
Oh, really?
Whatever. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay, so I've seen RoboCop 2. I've seen RoboCop 1. Not 3, though. I haven't seen 3.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. Because I think basically it was like, we'll just do the same thing again, but like cheaper.
Yeah.
So they just did that. Yeah, I don't know. Once again, I gotta decide whether to torture you or not torture you. That's the thing.
Can I give my opinion?
Yeah.
Don't.
It's so tough, TJ, though. It's so tough. Haven't decided yet at anything, but it's just like, I have so many ideas and make you watch terrible kids movies from the 90s. Make you watch Shallow, 100 Days of Sodom. It's just like, watch Italian teenagers get raped, like horribly. I don't know.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it is awful. Yeah. Don't know. But we'll figure it out later, folks. Okay? So thank you for joining us. I'm Mo, and you're
and I'm TJ, and I will spare you from my Bing Crosby impression. Or no, I won't.
Goodbye, everybody. See ya.
Adios.
Bye. Hi guys, Mo here. If you like our podcast, please follow us, subscribe, or do whatever you need to do to, listen to this podcast. We're on Spotify, YouTube, and also SoundCloud, and possibly many more soon. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at it_dammit, and on Facebook at It's Still New to Us. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the episode.